Today, Bitcoin falls to the $84,000 level as crypto markets continue to tumble. The FBI points to the North Korea-backed Lazarus Group as the Bybit hackers, and Liu of CoinMarketCap discusses how much that hack is responsible for the current pullback. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Mackenzie Sigalos. Crypto markets are piling on to this week's losses after President Trump announced tariffs on Canada and Mexico would go forward next week. Now, at the same time, the president is hitting China with an additional 10% tariff, which is on top of the 10% tax that he implemented a few weeks ago. Trump also threatened 25% tariffs on imports from the EU. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin fell 2.6%, now trading around $84,000. Ether dropped 4% and slipped below $2,300, while Solana managed to trade mostly flat, just under $137. Okay, let's talk about the top stories. The FBI says that North Korean-backed hackers are in fact responsible for last week's $1.5 billion Bybit heist. The agency yesterday published a public service announcement claiming that the North Korean state-sponsored organization known as Lazarus Group was behind the hack. The FBI says the stolen funds are currently being laundered across multiple blockchains and expects that they'll be converted to fiat. All this is in line with what independent blockchain investigators had claimed. This attack marked the largest hack seen in crypto thus far. Now, Bybit said earlier this week that in just a few days, it did fully replenish its reserves with emergency loans and funding, but so far it has not recovered the stolen tokens. Next, the SEC's legal battle with Tron founder Justin Sun may soon come to a close. A joint filing submitted yesterday by the SEC, Sun's attorneys, Tron, BitTorrent, and Rainberry asked the court to put the case on hold as parties explore a potential resolution. The filing adds that there would be an update within 60 days of the start of the pause. The SEC originally brought the case forward in March of 2023. However, the agency has pivoted its digital asset strategy under President Trump's leadership to take the pressure off of crypto firms, including Coinbase and Robinhood. Sun is also a major investor of the Trump family-backed DeFi platform, World Liberty Financial. Last, a California congressman is introducing a bill to prevent top government officials from profiting off of personal meme coins. Democrat Sam Liccardo said in a video posted to X that the Modern Emoluments and Malfeasance Enforcement, or the MEME Act, will create criminal penalties for federal office holders who use the issuance of digital tokens to make money. He added that the bill would also allow civil penalties, meaning that those who lost money on the tokens can sue. Congressman Liccardo, of course, pointed to the Trump meme coin as his reasoning for the proposed legislation and voiced concern that foreign entities could buy into the token with the goal of influencing U.S. politics. He claims almost every one of the 800,000 people who bought President Trump's meme coin lost a lot of money, and that the president himself, as well as offshore investors in China, financially did very well. All right, let's talk about markets for our main story. I just spoke with Liu, who's head of research at CoinMarketCap. We discussed to what degree the Bybit hack has affected Bitcoin's recent pullback. And I also asked what catalysts her team believes will drive markets going forward. So Bitcoin has been trading at that 86K level this week. How much of those losses can we attribute to rollover from the Bybit hack, and how much can we chalk up to the macroeconomic environment?
Yes, of course. There are factors on both. In fact, you're correct about the ETH rollover because following the 1.5 billion Bybit Ether hack, we're saying the hacker has gradually starting to offload the wallet. And this morning when I checked, they already offloaded majority of it. Only 9.6K worth of 9.6K Ether is still left in the wallet. So a lot of that rotation then gone into BTC, going to other top coins, and we're seeing the impact of that. On the other side of it, we're seeing not just crypto, but the global market is trending downwards this week in fear of the tariff, in fear of the potential the slowdown of the quantitative easing and the lack of liquidity in the market at the moment. So we're getting impacted on the macroeconomic condition as well.
So let's continue on with that point. There's so much news that investors are watching. You mentioned tariff threats from President Trump. You've got jobless claims data just out today, weaker than expected consumer sentiment, and soft pending home sales. Now, all of this is stoking concerns about the U.S. economy, but is there something in particular that investors should be watching within that set of macro data, perhaps tariffs in particular?
Yeah, exactly. So I would say there are three at the moment. The first one is TGA liquidity injection ends. So that is the Treasury General account will end by April, 1st of April, and we're likely to see the drawing out of the liquidity there. Number two is reciprocal tariff policy starts, right? So we're seeing a lot of debates at the moment. Trump administration potentially with the tariff pushing forward for Mexico, a lot of other countries, European included, debating there, China also. And then number three would be the March dot plot data. If the Fed March dot plot provides a disappointing data, then rate cuts are unlikely in Q2. That would lead to more pessimistic investor sentiment, especially if K economic data also underperforms as well.
How far could the pullback go in your view? What are the charts telling you?
Exactly. So it is reviewing back for the past 7 days, 6 days since the beginning of this hack saga. The total market cap for crypto has dropped from 3.29 trillion to the lowest of 2.75 that we saw 2 days ago. That's a 16.4% drop. And if I look across the whole top large cap coins at the moment, the CMC Crypto Fair and Greed Index has decreased from 66, which is in the great territory, into 20, which is towards the extreme fair. And the altcoin season is even worse because out of the top 100 projects, only 6 of them had positive performance in the past 7 days. And we have CMC 100 index as well, which is the S&P 500 equivalent for crypto, if you like. And that is dropped from 202 to 170, a 15.8% drop. And Ether, BTC, also some of the other large tokens have also been experiencing something close to 13 to 16% drop. So it is quite a deep pullback for the market at the moment. To your question, how low can this go? We did say some of the supporting levels being touched this week, right? So we did say that BTC did not break through the low 80s, at least they didn't drop below 80K. And then Ether has stayed at a healthy sort of steady level once it's settled. But one thing I would like to say is that this is still very much a technical pullback, but not a structural change, which means we are still scheduled to have a bull market coming in 2025. Now, because of this pullback, that might have been slowed down potentially to Q2 or Q3 by the look of it now.
How much would you say investor optimism around US crypto policy is already baked into prices? Will policy be what drives Bitcoin to new highs, or are there other events that you and your team are analyzing?
Yeah, sure. So what we've seen, a very important discussion coming from in January and February is the stablecoin regulation. And I'm in East Denver at the moment, so a lot of the discussions going on. I think the magnitude that is going to unleash with the stablecoin regulation, hence reflecting into some of the RWA projects and some of the DeFi projects, is going to be huge. I don't think that has been priced in yet. There has been a lot of the debates, the building ideas on the ground right now for projects to build and accommodate in the inflows of Web2 capital once the stablecoin regulation is in place.
What's your outlook on altcoins? Because if we look at the past year, Bitcoin has soared almost 50%, while Ether has dropped by 30%. Can we expect a comeback, and what would it take?
Of course. So altcoin season in this market cycle is going to be vastly different from the last one. And the reason for that is the altcoin market is too big right now. So you will no longer have everything pump type of altcoin season. But instead, there will be some specific trending narratives and high quality, high profile projects that would benefit out of this altcoin season. So I'm glad you mentioned about Ethereum, because Ether in itself is going through a few of the transitions that we're saying, for example, this week with the appointment of the new chairman for Ethereum Foundation, Aya, taking place, and a lot of the debates that the community has been having in terms of the leadership, the direction change. So I think Ethereum in itself is a special, unique example. But altcoin season in general is still very much scheduled once the bull market comes back.
Also on the meme coin front, it seems like the hype from the end of last year and beginning of this year is really gone at the moment. Is this a long-term trend to the downside as concerns around investor protections grow?
So we have seen the specific drop and quietness of meme coin season following the last Libra token issuance. I think that really has gone to a point where a lot of the debate, the investigations coming out of Libra token is to showcase some of the unfairness of meme coin sector. If you remember when meme coin season took into place, it's because people rushing, thinking, liking the fair launch model. People like to play in a fair game that is no longer the hefty, low liquidity, VC dominant projects, right? But that fundamental has changed. Hence, we do sense a state of fatigue in the market at the moment. That's both in terms of the new token launches. So if you look at the new tokens graduated on Pump.fun, that has dropped significantly from 22.5 thousand in January to only 11,000 in February. So that's a 50% decline at the moment. And the trading activities just across all the dexes on meme coins is drying out as well. So I believe the market is now in the quiet mood for meme coins. But still, with some of the new product improvements, for example, we're seeing Pump.fun potentially launch their own AMM functions coming up. So with the products being built at the moment, I think it only takes a good market condition for meme coins to make another comeback again.
Okay, that's all for Crypto World today, but we'll be back again tomorrow, and we'll see you then.